The importance of intercontinental ballistic missiles in maintaining national security cannot be overstated. These formidable weapons form the backbone of a nation's nuclear deterrent, ensuring the capacity for retaliatory strikes in the event of a direct attack, and thus playing a vital role in global strategic stability. Among Western nations, the United States stands alone in operating land-based ICBMs. However, the weapons currently deployed in America's arsenal are rapidly aging. The LGM-30G Minuteman III, introduced more than 50 years ago, is now considered to be beyond repair. Its modernization potential was exhausted decades earlier, prompting the U.S. to initiate the development of a replacement, the LGM-35A Sentinel. The Sentinel, developed under the Ground-Based Strategic Deterrent Program by defense contractor Northrop Grumman, a pillar of the U.S. military-industrial complex, represents one of the most ambitious military modernization programs in American history. Yet despite its scale and urgency, the project has been mired in technical problems, severe delays, and massive cost overruns. From its inception, the Sentinel has faced significant hurdles, including issues with technologies that should be routine for a country with America's resources. The crisis has led to controversial proposals to retire the Minuteman III prematurely and reallocate funds to the Sentinel program. However, doing so would eliminate the land-based leg of America's nuclear triad, leaving only strategic bombers. Given the increasing number of global and regional adversaries confronting the U.S., largely due to Washington's aggressive foreign policy, shifting to a dyad is a strategically risky proposition. Originally, the best-case scenario envisioned the Sentinel entering service between 2029 and 2030. That would have left a 5-year gap in land-based ICBM capability had the Minuteman III been retired early. Critics warned even then that the deadline was likely unrealistic, predicting a deployment timeline slipping into the mid to late 2030s. That forecast is now being validated. Recent developments confirm a new wave of delays, casting doubt on the feasibility of the program. According to Breaking Defense, the Sentinel program is undergoing a major restructuring that has thrown the flight testing schedule into uncertainty. Initially postponed until 2026, a 2-year delay in itself, the missile's first test flight now lacks a confirmed date and has been delayed indefinitely. This latest setback stems from an 81% cost spike in 2023, triggering a review of the program's schedule, particularly the timeline for the full system test flight. A new Government Accountability Office report published June 11th confirms that the first Sentinel flight is now projected for March 2028, a delay of more than 4 years, with the potential for further slippage. This cost overrun triggered a Nunn-McCurdy breach, a legal threshold for excessive defense spending overruns. The breach may not be the last, and further cost escalations are expected. In an effort to reduce expenses, the Pentagon has even proposed reusing existing missile silos, an approach long used by Russia, due to its reliance on cold launch systems that preserve silo integrity. This is yet another area where the U.S. lags behind. Russia's ICBMs, such as the RS-24, YARS, cost approximately $25 million each, nearly 3 times less than the aging Minuteman III, which ranges from $65 to $75 million per unit. Furthermore, the YARS boasts far superior capabilities, including maneuverability and hypersonic glide vehicle deployment. Russia's modular missile architecture has allowed it to develop variants like the RS-26 Rubez and the newer Oreshnik, some of which can serve as non-nuclear strategic strike platforms. In contrast, the Sentinel has defied expectations by being both less reliable and more expensive than its predecessor. When first announced in 2020, the Sentinel's estimated cost was $118 million per missile, already nearly 80% higher than the Minuteman III. Later that same year, the estimate rose to $162 million. The most recent figures remain undisclosed, but analysts believe the cost now exceeds $200 million per missile. That would make it over 200% more expensive than the Minuteman III, and a staggering 700% more costly than Russia's RS-24, Yars. With the 2036 deployment window now appearing unlikely, the U.S. Air Force is even exploring the option of keeping the Minuteman III in service until 2050, an unprecedented move that would extend the missile's lifespan to over 80 years. This timeline coincides with projections from U.S. defense think tanks suggesting that several adversaries, including Russia, China, and North Korea, will reach peak strategic capabilities during this period. Russia alone already deploys over 200 Yars, ICBMs, 90% of which are road-mobile, offering superior survivability compared to the silo-based Sentinel. Moreover, the Russian strategic missile forces possess a vast and advanced arsenal beyond the Yars. Among the most formidable is the RS-28, Sarmat, a super heavy ICBM with unmatched range, payload capacity, and cutting-edge hypersonic warhead technology. The Sarmat is capable of deploying a fractional orbital bombardment system, giving it a virtually unlimited strike range. Additionally, Russia fields other revolutionary strategic weapons, such as the Poseidon nuclear-powered underwater drones. These devices can generate radioactive tsunamis, obliterating coastal cities and critical infrastructure. China and North Korea are also rapidly modernizing their missile forces, deploying newer, more sophisticated systems than the half-century-old Minuteman III. By the time the Sentinel is finally deployed, if ever, it may already be obsolete, overpriced, and outmatched. In summary, the Sentinel program not only represents a critical failure in U.S. defense planning, but also highlights the broader issue of America's strategic stagnation in the face of emerging peer-level threats. Unless drastic changes are made, the United States may soon find itself with a hollow deterrent and an eroded global strategic edge.